Hey, it's Tay with Mom on the Spectrum, and today I've got a really fun video for y'all with some of my favorite sensory toys and tips for autistic adults. These are things that can help with overstimulation and or understimulation, and we're going to talk about why one or both of those things might affect you as an autistic adult. Okay, so first things first, two real life disclosures. Number one, I love wearing jewelry for like 5 minutes and then I take it off because it's overstimulating to me. My ears are very sensitive and they become very aware of the fact that I'm wearing earrings after about 5 minutes. So I'm wearing them for this YouTube video and then I'm going to take them off. Secondly, I just had to reshoot this video after I had made significant progress because my 4-year-old yelled at the top of his lungs, "I just went poo-poo!" So that's what's happening over here at my house. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, if you could please hit the red button below this video. That's the #1 best way to support me on my channel and help me continue creating free content for you. I love doing it. I'm loving all the suggestions that everybody is giving in the comments for future videos. This is my kitty back here. Apparently he wants to help us shoot the video today. He is knocking over my display that I worked hard on for y'all. Anyways, stay tuned at the end of the video. I have a hilarious story about my daughter and the toys you see behind me. It's a little cringy. You're going to want to hear it. I still get embarrassed about it to this day. Okay. With all that said, let's talk about overstimulation and understimulation. Why are those things issues for people on the spectrum? We process sensory information differently. So what we observe with our eyes, what we smell, what we taste, what we hear, what we feel in our skin, all of those things are perceived sometimes differently than the general population. We can either be overstimulated by those things. Lights are too bright, sounds are too loud. We get upset by certain smells or different textures in our mouth or light touch. I do not like being touched lightly. Those are all examples of overstimulation. Understimulation is someone who maybe can't feel pain. It requires a lot more for them to feel discomfort. Or another example could be that you crave really, really spicy food because you have to have that stimulation because it's hard for you to taste anything unless it's really, really spicy. So it's important for those of us on the spectrum to learn how to regulate our senses so that we can feel more balanced and less overwhelmed. This can also help prevent meltdowns and shutdowns, which I've talked about in other videos. If we can learn how to engage our senses in pleasing ways that make us feel good and help us calm down, that can help offset what we may be experiencing that's upsetting. 2 disclaimers before I jump into the products, which I can't wait to share with you. I guess 3. 1, I'm not sponsored. I'm sharing all of these because I genuinely love them and feel like they're part of my life now. 2, I'm not a doctor, so take any of these suggestions with your own judgment and the help of your own healthcare providers. Because everybody on the spectrum experiences life differently, the things that I share may or may not work for you. And I would love to hear in the comments if you have any additional suggestions or products or tips that have helped you. And then lastly, I remember whenever I was first realizing that I was autistic and was learning about the diagnostic process, I felt like I needed to buy everything, all the books, all the toys, all the therapy, and it felt really overwhelming to feel like I needed so many things in order to be okay. That's not true. You don't need all of these things behind me to be okay. I would say if you don't have any sensory toys, maybe like a starter sensory pack could carry you a long way. Those are like $10 to $20 and I'll post a link in the description. But everything that I'm sharing, just take it with a grain of salt. If you're able to incorporate one of these things right now, awesome. And maybe you add a wish list of things that people can start getting you for your birthday or Christmas or whatever. But you will be okay without all of these things behind me. And there's actually really normal things that you can do to regulate, like pushing against a wall, pulling against a chair, these types of sensory experiences. What is happening? My computer's updating right now. Thank you. We don't need to do that right now. Play-Doh, that's 50 cents. So there's a lot of different things. Once you kind of see what I'm sharing, you can kind of get an idea for what sensory regulation is like, and you can be really creative about how to do those things on a budget. That might be an idea for a video another day. Let me share with you my first and foremost favorite sensory thing, my weighted blanket. I love my weighted blanket. I use it every single day. My sister-in-law was actually the first person that told me about weighted blankets. I think she let me borrow hers and it was amazing. I got mine before they were really popular and so they were more expensive then. They're not cheap now, but they're definitely more affordable than they were. I'm going to post a link for all of the products in the description so that you can find them. Because I wanted to try and save money, I considered buying it without this little minky sleeve and just what goes inside of it. Don't do that because the minky sleeve is part of the experience and one of my favorite parts of the blanket. Mine, I believe, is a queen size. It's huge. I think probably upsetting to sleep next to. My husband does not sleep under this with me and it pulls the covers away from him and I know that it's super annoying. But I love my weighted blanket. Whenever I'm really upset, this is the first thing I do to help myself. I lay underneath it. It helps calm me down. It's very regulating. If you have a child who's autistic, this would be similar to like a weighted backpack at school. Just having the sensation of pressure against you can be very regulating. Going along with a weighted blanket, this purple thing you see here, my best friend got this for me. This is a tiny little weighted blanket. It's a lap blanket you can keep with you whenever you're working. So you're sitting at your desk and you can just put this in your lap. If you work at a computer often or you sit down a lot throughout the day, you can just keep this on you, kind of like a comforting reminder that you can be calm and you can find stillness. And it's just kind of a nice grounding thing to have. Love it. Okay, this is kind of random, but I pick at my nails a lot when I'm overstimulated. So keeping nail clippers on a keychain, I'm telling you, it's $1 million idea. Because whenever I get anxious in the car, I can just, maybe this is gross, at a stoplight, just like trim my nails so that I quit picking at them. It seriously makes such a difference for me. Next up, dishwashing gloves. I really don't know why it took me so long to make this change in my life. Now that I do dishes with dishwashing gloves, I can actually tolerate it. I've always hated doing the dishes because it dries my hands out. I don't like dirty dishes. I don't like smell. I don't like looking at them. But whenever I feel like I have protection on my hands, I can tolerate it so much better. These I got at Dollar Tree, literally $1. But if you don't like the scratchy kind of latexy feel, my favorite gloves are actually, I think they're Mr. Clean, and you can get them at Target or Walmart. They're like $4 and they have fleece inside of them. They're super bougie, I guess, but super affordable, and it is a game changer. I just keep them stocked under the sink. Next up, these are my son's noise canceling headphones. These are awesome and surprisingly affordable. This is a kid's set. This is $9.98, I believe, on Amazon. Mine are really cool. Mine are super cushy, a little bit more comfortable than the kids. Mine are also Bluetooth headphones, so I use these for work because they feel comfortable, and they also have a little, I don't know what it stands for, automatic noise canceling, maybe ANC. Whenever that switches on, I can just wear these without any music or anything, and it automatically dims the sound around me. It's really cool. These are a little bit more expensive, I think $35 maybe. Also, when I decided to do this video, I was like, yeah, I have a couple of things I can share, and I started walking around the house and I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many sensory things that I depend on all the time. Okay, this is a weighted sleep mask, and it kind of feels cool to the touch. It's got beads in it. It has a really nice texture, and I use this to sleep every day. You can also put a little drop of essential oils on a mask like this, the side that faces away from your face. You don't want any oils like directly on your skin. Lavender is a great oil for bedtime. Everybody is probably really unique in terms of your scent preferences, so you can actually find essential oils at a lot of grocery stores now. You don't even have to shell out the big bucks for the big names. You can find most of what you need at a farmer's market or an upscale grocery store. Here's another fun idea that works for grown-ups and kids. I actually use this. This is my son's that we got him for occupational therapy. But there's these little like sensory handheld things that you can use. I've just got beans in here. Beans and lentils. You can just play with it. This yellow one, I don't really like. It makes me mad because you push down and it opens. I just don't like it. And just doing something like that can redirect all of your senses. You're using sight, using touch, and you can hear it. This is also something that I use when I'm sleeping. I know, super fashionable. It has little headphones right here built in, and it's Bluetooth. I've tried this. I think that when it comes down to it, I don't really like having things in my ears when I'm sleeping, but for those of you who do like white noise or something like that, this is a great way to keep white noise close to you without upsetting your partner. If you sleep with someone in bed with you, you can also put soothing music on. Headband, check. Next up is Aaron's thinking putty. This stuff is awesome. If you've ever seen it before, there's like a million different versions, a million different colors. There's some with glitter in them, which some people love. My daughter literally told me that the worst part about her life is glitter. She's neurodivergent, and that's one of her things. Mine does not have glitter in it. It's actually color changing. Whenever you play with it, it gets warm and turns light blue from a dark blue color. There's like magician themed, there's cotton candy. Super fun. This is only like $10. I keep it in my purse when I need to listen to something but don't necessarily have anything that I can work on. I always need to keep my hands busy, and I love this stuff. This is my kitty. Oh, he's laying on all my toys. Okay, next up is a 3-pound ball. It's a 3-pound exercise ball. These are also really affordable, and just having the weight whenever you throw it, it's really calming. It has sand inside of it. It's just great. Look, and you can like squish it. So fluffy I can die. What movie is that from? Despicable Me. Okay, another one of my new favorites. Oh my gosh, listen to that. They have these babies everywhere. I think the original brand was Pop It. I got this from Target, but now they're popping up everywhere. Like, I heard a friend say they got one at the beach the other day. There's like rainbow colored ones. I don't even know what they're called, like bubble pops. This one has the alphabet on it and numbers, which my son really loves. He's 4. I keep these in the car. So we have lots of meltdowns in the car because it is a continuous transition, and transitions are really hard for people on the spectrum. So having something like this in the car, it's kind of like a fail-safe. Whenever Cooper starts approaching a meltdown, I'm just like, hey, use the bubble pop. And it buys us at least 2 minutes. No, it usually stretches him for a little bit longer. I love this. We fight over it. Almost at the end here, I wanted to share a few supplements. And just as a reminder, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician. Everybody's body is going to respond differently to what you put into it, especially people on the spectrum. Sometimes the effects of medication or supplements can be paradoxical for us, meaning the opposite of what they should be. So always use extreme caution when taking a supplement or medication, and make sure that you're doing what is right for your body with the help of a healthcare provider. That being said, I just started this 5-HT Plus supplement. Oh my gosh. I have such a hard time sleeping, and I've only been taking this for a week. I don't know if it's placebo effect or what. I'm going to say no, because there's like 10,000 5-star reviews on this on Amazon. It's 5-HTP, serotonin synthesizers, supports brain function, mood, and sleep. It also has L-tryptophan and SAME, S-A-M-E. And I can't even tell you. The one thing about this is that you're supposed to take it with 8 ounces of water. Like, that is so inconvenient because it's a sleep supplement. But even if I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I can get back in bed and go back to sleep, which I have had a really hard time doing in the past. So can't recommend this enough. It definitely is new to me, but so far really good. Next up is Scullcap. One of my friends recommended this on her podcast. Thank you, Taylor Nix from Jagged Little Feels. Love your podcast. This helps promote relaxation and sleep, but it's also, I think she referred to it as nature's Xanax, but Scullcap is supposed to help with anxiety and mood stabilization. I haven't had as dramatic of results with this as I have with the 5-HTP, but I still wanted to mention this because, like I said, all of our bodies are different, and this might be something that's helpful to you. The last supplement that I'm going to mention is magnesium. This can also be really helpful for kids. Again, not without consulting your healthcare provider. Magnesium can help calm, focus. It's also really good for your muscles. If you like to work out or tend to stay really tense, this can help you relax. Okay, and then the last thing I'm sharing today. Oh, I have to take him away from my kitty. Oh, he goes, I'm sorry. This is part of what I mentioned in the beginning of the video. This all came together in like a fidget toy kit that I got on Amazon that was like $10 or $15. There's so many things to play with here. So I just keep these everywhere. This is like a little, almost like a finger trap, and you can squeeze it and there's a marble inside of it. I keep these in my pocket. And if somebody's talking to me, I took this to a game night one time and I just kept this under the table and I just played with it the entire night, and it really, really helped. Squishy ball. Some of these things might make some of you squeamish. I apologize. These little stretchy tubes, my kids hide these from me all the time. Some of you are probably wishing you could reach through the video and grab them and play with them. And then this, I love this. I didn't think I would because of the feel of it. This is one of the first sensory toys I got. My friend, who was also recently diagnosed, we had coffee and I asked her everything that I could think of about autism. And she had several of these in her purse and she gave me one. And I thought it was so cool because I was like, I'm part of the autism club now. No big deal. Like little bands on it. You can stretch it and pull it. Okay, I said that was the last thing, but then I looked at my hand. I have these little silicone bands that I wear in place of a wedding ring. I have a wedding ring and I've worn it for 10 years, but I play with it all the time. Like, I seriously do not know how I haven't lost it. And there's a big old diamond on top of it. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to quit fidgeting with that and replace it with something that's much more affordable and I can play with all the time. So these I just like pull and I stretch them. They feel better to me than the cold metal on my hand. They're different colors, so I stack them, I rearrange them, and they're really fun to play with. I kind of use it as a fidget toy whenever I forget to put something in my purse. Okay, lastly, as promised, the story. So I bought the starter kit of sensory fidget toys. I knew that my kids would steal them from me, so I put them in a drawer in my nightstand. Of course, because they ransacked everything in the house, it didn't take them very long to find them. And of course they said, why can't we play with them? They're toys. And I said, well, these are mommy's special toys. And normally toys are for kids, but these are my special toys and I need to keep them in the same place all the time so that I can find them whenever I need them. Fast forward a few days, my daughter had just met a new friend, and I had met her mom maybe once or twice. Meeting new people is hard, especially when it's kids' moms. My daughter is FaceTiming with her new best friend, and I hear her in the other room say, yeah, my mom has these amazing toys that are so cool, and we don't have anything like them. And my mom said that they're her special toys that she has to keep in her nightstand, and we are not allowed to touch them ever. I wanted to shrivel up and die inside. I was like, these are new people to our lives. And, you always wonder who your kids' friends' parents are, like what is life like at their house, and then this to be like the first impression they have. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope that her mom did not hear this. So at least I had her mom's phone number, and I texted her and I was like, did you happen to hear that conversation the girls were having? And she said, yes, ... LOL. And so I had to redeem myself. I said, oh my gosh, those are my fidget toys. I am so sorry. Like, they're not inappropriate. Anyways, it's a fun dinner story that makes for a lot of laughs. What can you do? So those are some of my favorite sensory toys and tips. I think I put the bow on a different side every time. I'm always looking for more toys and tips, so I'd love to hear any that you have in the comments. I've got several videos in the works, including to mask or not to mask, an autism starter kit for autistic adults, an autism starter kit for autistic friends and family. Those are just a few that I have in the works. You should see my notes app. I have like the longest list of videos that I want to make for y'all. So please keep subscribing. Please keep coming back. Yeah, I love being neurodivergent in this beautiful community that we are developing here. Everybody's been so kind and supportive. Hope everybody has a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.